Good morning, everyone. Are we on? Okay, we are.
Is it
We
there?
are on.
Okay.
Okay, I'll call this meeting to order June 9th, 2025, DeKalb County Commissioners. Morning, Dottie.
Good morning. Hey, well, let's go ahead, talk a little bit about who the Health Savings Account Administrator will be. To clarify the email, I had already contacted UMB, who had been our previous Health Savings Account Administrator, and we still have an open account with them. From what I could tell, and like I mentioned in the email, the auditor's office is going to have to clarify what these fees were, but each month there was a $26.92 and then also a $100 fee in our, for the county. And this that I gave you, that's the enrollment instructions that we would give to all of our employees if they were to be in the health savings account. And as far as I cannot remember if there was a fee that the employee paid for their own health savings account. Don't remember that at all, and of course there was nobody in the office over the weekend there that I could check, but the information that I had here and what I found on their intranet site doesn't allude to any individual fee that the employee has. So Susan, I couldn't find what the invoice would have looked like for UMB.
Well, we don't get an invoice. I don't even see what charges you're talking about when I look at the vendor history.
Okay.
So
because back in 2022, there were, each month, there was a charge for
22, not in 23.
Could have been 23, maybe the middle of beginning. So, and then so there's that part of it. And then what Apex had presented to us on that company, Bank Lively. And
I don't have any, there's not any fees in the system. There's the $26.92, $100. Those are employee contributions or an employer match. I mean, it all depends, like,
Oh, okay.
some of them you see singled out because somebody didn't have an account open, so we had to do something special.
Wow, because that was like, that was like every month. So I had assumed it was an
Exactly.
administrative fee because I couldn't get in, so.
Every month,
Okay, guys.
because there was,
The auditor's office says that there wasn't any administrative fee from them.
as the employees, we had it every month because employees wouldn't have their accounts open.
Okay, so that's, okay, all right.
I don't know of any fee that there was. When I had HSA, which would have probably been 22, I didn't have a personal fee there.
Right, yeah. Yep. You can access your account online. You can pay yourself. You can pay a vendor. If you go to the dentist and then the dentist charges you a little bit over and above what the insurance takes care of, then you can send them a check directly. UMB provides you with a debit card that it can come directly out of the account. So all of that remains the same as it was when we had them before. So thank you, Susan, for letting us know that that wasn't a fee. I had assumed because it was very, consistent that it was an administrative fee, but yeah, so great, yeah. And I don't know who was supposed to be contacting a local vendor?
So Kellen had reached out to the treasurer's office that we kind of talked about last time, and he gave me the proposals that were sent in, and then I believe Joni and Sandy put together a synopsis on what they had. Do you have one of these?
I don't, no.
And it looks like there's, I mean, quite a few good options to be able to have a local branch available.
I also, well, of course, these are the banks that we bank with, right?
Correct.
County? Yeah.
Basically.
So these would be banks that either, like our main operating bank would be Community State. And then, but our treasurer invests money at different banks, depending what their rates are when they price out their CDs and things like that. So yeah, we bank with multiple banks locally.
Okay, gentlemen, on these proposals.
Well, quick look here, it looks like Community State Bank has the best interest rate. No fees, no minimums,
Right.
unlimited transactions, no penalty to close. Again, this is a quick look since we just got this, which it's really nice to have this information. Community State Bank looks like it certainly is a viable option in my mind.
Kellen, what do you think?
I agree. Sandy and Joni over there in Treasurer's office did an awesome job getting this information to us, broke it down to us really easily. And the community state banks, I mean, the other ones, some of them have monthly fees and membership requirements, other stuff. Community state bank, just with the higher interest rate, I mean, it blows out everybody else's on the interest rate.
Right.
That would be my vote.
The fact that the county's already using Community State, I would think would help make life easier.
And they have great customer service, right, Sandy?
Yeah.
Susan, sorry. Told you yes. I'm not feeling all that great this morning, so.
Yes, both the treasurer and I, we have wonderful
With
relationships with CSB.
Move ahead with that.
motion.
Yeah, I would so move that we switch to Community State Bank for our HSA options.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second on the floor. Any additional comments? Comments from the public? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Kellen, for getting that for us.
Thank the treasurers. They did an awesome job over there.
Yeah.
She deserves all the credit for it.
Okay.
And is it the auditor or the treasurer who will be getting back with them to letting them, setting all that up and getting HR all the information that the employees need to create their and open their HSAs over there?
Good question.
I will talk with the treasurer.
Thank you. Great. Great. Good. That'll be nice for employees. They'll be able to actually go into a brick and mortar, kind of place. So. Awesome. Okay, so we have that taken care of. That's good. We are working on enrollment meetings. We already had one set up for the Highway Department on Wednesday at 1 o'clock, and that will be exclusively the Highway Department. That's a big bunch of people right there to get them checked off the list. Hoping to have some on in the next few days. On the 13th, a 7 a.m., 8:30, 10 o'clock, 12:30, 2 o'clock. Then on the 17th, 12:30, 2 o'clock, 3:30, 5 o'clock. And then on the 18th, 9, 10:30, and 12, hoping to accommodate as many of our employees' crazy schedules as we possibly can. And so, working on that schedule, getting that done. So we are set to get information for the dental and vision.
Where are you going to have those meetings?
Those meetings will be in the 9th Street Annex basement in the large conference room.
Can you Send us those dates and time, please.
Actually, more information to come. Once we get everything set between really definitely scheduling the room and making sure that the reps will be here for us, emails will go out to everybody regarding the schedule. It's not going to be, it's just going to be come whenever your department can release you to come to these, or if it's one of the ones not on your workday or after hours, then we won't have a set schedule that this department must show up at this time and another department show up at another. It'll just be as everybody's schedule. So once we get that all done, hopefully, maybe yet this morning, we will we'll get that information out to everybody. Yep. So we have other things besides health plan, hard to believe. But I'm going to let Morgan talk a little bit about our what we do have recruiting-wise and open positions and how hiring.
So right now, Community Corrections is looking for a residential facility officer for the day shift, so that'd be 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. I do have a pending new hire for full-time second shift at Sunny Meadows. And then we're still looking for another full-time person at Sunny Meadows from 4 p.m. to 12:30 a.m.
Yeah, we're working through some staffing there, trying to make sure we have 2 people per every hour out there. So I did send an email yesterday about shifting that around. I haven't talked to you about that. I apologize. It's been a crazy couple of days. So, but yeah, when does she start?
We're still waiting on some background check and
Okay.
stuff like that.
So, yeah,
So hopefully this week.
Dale's taking care of the cooking and all that stuff, but he's the only one that will be there from like 6 to like 9 in the morning. And so I asked them last night, which I hadn't talked to him, I previously forgot to, and I apologize. It's been a crazy couple of weeks with Sunny Meadows out there. To make sure we have 2 people per shift, so that way if someone calls off, gets sick, we always have at least some coverage out there at some point. But we've had great response to the postings.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like the one that they hired is gonna be a really good fit out there.
Good to hear.
Yes,
Good to hear.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. The response has been really good. It's just getting people to follow up, as usual. Yeah, they're interested until, it takes effort. So anyway. And also I understand that our county attorney is working on a lease or has one ready for the new temporary matron to sign for living there at the
Yes,
facility.
I think I'm planning to have it worked on, I think, tomorrow to get it cracked out.
Right. Good. Yeah. Well, I think that's about it. Right now, our big focus is health plan enrollment. So getting everything organized and ready so that we can have actual meetings and our employees can have all the information that they need.
Good deal.
Yay.
Good to
So
hear.
what else do you guys have for us?
Anything for Dottie? Anyone? You're good to go, Dottie.
Okay.
Have a good day. Thank you. Okay. Let's jump over and do payroll bi-weekly.
I would so move that we accept the payroll as presented.
I'll second.
A motion and a second on the floor. Any additional comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Payroll is approved. Claims. Any question on claims?
Yeah, I have one.
Okay.
4501, it's 44430, City of Butler, equipment, $86,874.50.
Okay, so there are 4501, 4502, and 4503. Those are all redevelopment TIF funds. So some are SDI, some are New Millennium, and some are American Heritage Village. The one that you're specifically talking about is, it's actually The total amount is $173,749. So half of it, the SDI TIF is paying for, and half of it New Millennium is paying for. And what it is they have, RDC, Redevelopment Commission, has agreed to purchase a fire
Fire engine.
engine, brush truck, something to that effect. And the city of Butler, due to redevelopment, they only meet every other month, and as they were getting all the information together, the city of Butler put the down payment down to Spencer Manufacturing to get it on order, to get it going. So we are reimbursing Butler their amount of money. Then the rest of it, once it comes in, then I will pay Spencer directly once that's all done, which it's gonna be a while. So that's that one. Then there was a couple other ones that they had agreed to. The one thing that we have is, that we're paying for right now, and it is broken up between the 3 TIFs for a total of $13,629. That is for the Butler Police Department. Redevelopment agreed to pay for a drone. So that is broken up among the 3 of those. There will be some other expenditures that you'll see coming at some point, because they agreed to pay for 2 vehicles for a police department, some type of light up signage, something like that, and the drone, and some AEDs. I just don't have those bills yet.
Basically, we're the pass-through. We take it in from the TIF and then,
Yeah, we collect the money in the TIF with redevelopment, and then redevelopment can decide what kind of projects they want to do. Like one of the other projects that they did most recently is they helped with the County Road 56 project, that federal project. They put some money towards that and things like that.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Appreciate that.
Was that it?
Yep.
Oh, perfect.
I'll make a motion to accept claims as is.
All right, second.
a motion to approve claims, additional comments. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye opposed. Motion carries. Michelle, you have something real quick you need our attention to.
Yes, I told her as soon as we had time, we would put her in.
I was going to catch you right after Dottie and I missed.
Okay. So I'm here this morning about moving Change Academy. So the final destination for the Change Academy is actually going to be in the same location as Choice, which is kind of over next to Dunham's and the Kroger Plaza, whatever that's called. The little committee that we kind of formed to look for a new location went through some different options, one of which was a Parkview building, a couple other commercial spaces, and they just weren't very affordable, or they needed so much work we didn't think that we would be able to accomplish in time. So for example, the Parkview building needed a couple things, but it boiled down to making it handicap accessible. We'd have to put poles in for a fire system, all things which started to add up. So we decided that was not going to be an option. And then DeKalb Central came back and said, well, we have another idea. We already rent this space, and it's bigger than what we need. And so we think we can move all programs there, separate them into their different areas, and kind of run it that way. The Department of Corrections has had some staff changes. And originally, they didn't see a problem with us just kind of paying the bills. I don't know how to explain it, almost like a reimbursement to the school system. Without actually having them pay us anyhow. It doesn't matter. They had a change in staff. And the new staff kind of took it up the chain and also to their auditing department, and they said they wanted it done a different way. So here we are at the 11th hour, finding a different way. So I was talking to Andrew on Friday, and he is going to draft up kind of a sublease for us that basically explains which portion of the building that we're going to be using for Change Academy, and that it's going to be basically rent with utilities included. This is something that I already worked through with the administration office over at DeKalb Central. And so what we came up with was he kind of broke down the bills for me and then said, like, you know, here's the rent, help us pay the utilities. They have a charge for their HVAC system, something that they had to do. And that's all part of what they're paying to be over there. And so, but we also found a lot of efficiencies. So we're going to change how we do some of the food stuff. We're going to share the printer with them, which means the printer we have it changed right now. Besa is actually, I think, already located another place in the county that needs that. And so we'll be cutting that bill out. And all in all, it actually works out to be a little bit less for us than what we were paying at our current location to share this and kind of use economies of scale to share amongst the different programs. So I came, Andrew hopefully didn't work over the weekend and get the document done. So I don't think it's done yet. But when
No,
did it come?
I did have my daughter's graduation over the weekend, so.
Perfect.
Yes.
So just wanted to come, kind of explain it, answer any questions, and then hopefully get the approval for it to be signed as soon as he has the draft done. And we are set to move into the new location next Monday. We have a moving company that's going to come and help us move all the furniture, the equipment, and IT is working on, excuse me, IT is working on moving our network systems and our cameras and the different things that they want to be extra careful with.
Okay. You need a approval from us?
I think just approval for that document so that it can be signed as soon as he gets it done.
Because it would be signed, I believe, by Bill as the president of the commissioners, if you guys approve it. And what is can you tell them, I think as part of the motion, if they approve this, you need to include in the lease rate, the monthly cost for them when they approve it.
Yeah.
So are we leasing like we were where we're at, or are we paying rent?
Oh, is there a difference between lease and rent?
Well,
For
if
your
we,
accounting?
hey, I was just starting to message her. Our current lease, we have to 1099 the people that we're leasing, that we're paying the lease to. So this one, we're actually going to be kind of paying rent to DeKalb Central. DeKalb Central actually already owns the building. So
Or they're actually leasing it?
they're leasing
they're
the
leasing
building,
the
and then
building.
we're just gonna pay rent
Sublease.
routine. So, does anybody know if we 1099 the school? I mean, we'll be paying the school, correct?
Right.
My knowledge is just 1099 the school and let the school worry
Yeah. Okay. So do you know, is the paperwork a sublease or a rental agreement? That might,
It's gonna look a lot like a regular lease, it's just we're leasing out a part of their space. How they work it
Okay.
out with their
all right.
people.
Thanks, Leanne.
So the monthly amount is $2,308.75.
Can you repeat that, please?
$2,308.75.
I think the key is if you commissioners agree with this, and if you approve that amount, then you could authorize Bill to sign the lease.
Okay, so that's the monthly rent
And utilities.
and
It's
utilities
all included in the
all
rent
together.
cost.
Okay. Thank you.
Was that the same way at the other location? Was the utilities included?
No, at the other location, we paid rent to Mike Lay, and then we paid our utilities to the different providers, basically.
How much were those utilities? Do you have any idea total?
Let me make sure about that. Looks like we were paying 2,100 telecommunications, so that would have been internet services and telephones to AES. And then we had about 6,000 between trash recycling, gas, NIPSCO, and also some Stand Energy. I'm not even sure what that is. You guys know what that is? Yes? She says yes. Okay. And then it was also the electricity and the water to City of Auburn. The other thing we had, which we will be getting rid of, was the $1,400 for the copier. And since we're going to be able to share that with the other programs, that's a change for us in our new budget where we get to save that money.
That's gonna be amazing with the budget cuts that you guys are facing.
Yes. So, and our rent was 1,500. So all those things, plus 1,500 a month for the rent, and we're going to be going to about 2,300. So it's a cost savings for us to share the space.
And that 2,300, that will include the internet.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yep. Our IT department has been working with the school's IT department to kind of, and I don't know anything about this, so please don't ask me a question, but to port in off of the network they already have over there.
Okay. Questions, comments?
Good idea, saving the county money. It's a space that's being used. We work with the schools with this program anyways, so I have no problem with it.
The bigger part of it is it's, because they're grant funded, so they're able to save that grant fund, and they already were looking at a huge reduction of what grant funding they're gonna get. So that's great.
Okay. Motion?
So we'll want a motion that you approve Bill to sign the agreement, the lease slash sublease, I don't know, the lease agreement with DeKalb Central in the amount of $2,308.75 monthly.
So moved.
Very good, Kelly.
Excuse me. Second.
A motion and second on the floor. Additional comments? Comments from the public?
Well, thank you for that hard work getting this all put together. That's great.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you.
Okay. Next up, Kim Landis. Are you Kim?
I can
not
maybe
come.
report.
Yeah, go for it.
Yes, I was able to speak with Kim and give her an update on what's going on. It's in regards to the Michael Girard, Girod property. And I was able to let her know that I did speak to, I believe, Michael a while back, and he had said that he had gotten Larry Seiler of Seiler Excavating to agree to put in the tank. And I called Larry Seiler directly. He called me back and confirmed that he had spoken to Michael. So that appears to be the case. I don't know if it's been put in yet, but I think it's supposed to have been put in maybe the end of last week or the beginning of this week. And I also then had investigated what do we need to do to be able to get the home condemned, and or at least an injunction, a court order to say stop using this septic system that is apparently leaking and potentially causing a health hazard. And so I looked at both our county ordinance and the state statute, and between the two of them together, it appeared there had to be one final written notice letter done with a deadline. We put in a 10-day deadline. Bernie did the notice from the health department, and the 10 days are going to be up here very shortly, I believe. And then we have the right to file a lawsuit to have the property, I mean, I guess you could call it condemned, but basically get a court order that it can't be used because of the health hazard until a tank is put in or a new septic system is put in. Now, my thought is if he actually gets it in by tomorrow, there's probably not a need to sue if the health department is happy with it. I mean, it's up to you guys, because that's the whole goal, is to enforce compliance. If we're just being told a story and he never actually does it, or he doesn't want to pay Mr. Seiler to do it or something like that, and he doesn't get it done, then we would have to file a lawsuit and get a court order. But I was able to communicate all or most of that to Kim Landis, and so that's probably why one of the reasons that she's not here this morning. So, and then she also talked to Bill and seemed like she'd gotten an update from Bill, which I think also helped the neighbors feel more comfortable with where things are going.
What was that address again? Do you have that?
I think I do. I just have to go to my other file here. And my open county matters. Okay, let's see. I think it's 6064 County Road 55. 6064 County Road 55.
$55?
Yes, County Road 55.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So is it your opinion that we should put a specific date that if it's not done by, then move forward?
Tomorrow, right?
Well, yes, I mean, you can't, yes. I mean, I think you already did authorize me a week or two ago to file suit. I'd have to look back at my notes for sure, but I believe you already have authorized that when we talked the last time. And it was just that before we filed suit, since the health department had never really had to do that in anybody's memory, I was like, okay, we got to go back to the statute, our ordinance, and the state statute and find out what's required. And that's where I found out we need to have a final notice go out by the health officer with the deadline, and when the deadline's passed, then it's not the attorney for the Board of Health that sues, it's actually the county attorney that files a lawsuit for an injunction. And also, neighbors can do that as well, but it seems that they're doing it, if they do it, they have to kind of pay their own attorney fees, which is difficult for, neighbors to want to do that. But the county attorney, if you guys authorize him, can file the suit. And you can do another vote on that today if you'd like, to say basically if the tank's not in, proceed with preparing the suit. And the only reason that we would stop with that is if we find out that the health department has approved, that the tank has actually gone in and the sewage leaking is stopped.
They would need to inspect it, right, when it went in?
They would need to inspect it after it's gone in, I believe, yes.
Yeah.
I so move that we move ahead with the lawsuit pending the approval of the health department that it's been completed.
Okay.
A motion second on the floor. Additional comments? Comments from the public?
That 10-day notice is up tomorrow, or?
That, I have to look back at my last email from Bernie, but I'm thinking, I think it went out very end of last month, or so it might be within a couple of days. I'll see if I can locate that.
Any other comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, oppose, motion carries.
Thank you.
Anything else on that? Okay. Let's move on to minutes.
So move we approve the minutes as presented. Well,
Which set of?
Do you want to do all three of them together or separate?
No, I think
I didn't have any problems with all three, so.
I'm fine with all three together.
Huh?
We can do all three. I'm fine with that.
6064.
For all three then.
Thank you.
I'll second.
A motion second on the floor. Any additional comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed. Minutes are approved. Okay, miscellaneous topics. Joint resolution of commissioners and council honoring Dan Lauer. Do we need to read this into the record?
Yeah, we can.
You do the honor, Susan. My
Yeah.
voice is not
I got
looking
it.
quite right today.
Okay, those are minutes. Okay, so we have a joint resolution of DeKalb County Commissioners, number 2025-R-8, DeKalb County Code 4-1-3-39, and DeKalb County Council, Council Resolution number 2025-RCC-8, a resolution to honor friend and colleague Donald J. Lauer. Whereas Donald J. Lauer passed from his life on Monday, May 5th, 2025, and whereas Donald J. Lauer faithfully served the citizens of DeKalb County from 1991 to 2018, including 2 terms as DeKalb County Sheriff, from 2011 to 2018. And whereas Donald J. Lauer distinguished himself in his public service to the citizens of DeKalb County, Indiana, serving as a patrolman, detective, and sheriff. And whereas Don also served his church and his community throughout his life as a member of Immaculate Conception Catholic Church and was a member of Knights of Columbus Council 9186. He gave his time generously volunteering for Catholic charities, taking communion to residents of local nursing homes. Whereas Don's life of service is evidence of his strong faith in God, and whereas the county and citizens of this county are indebted to Don for his unselfish leadership and service to our community, and will be sorely missed by all those whose lives he touched. Now therefore be it resolved as follows, that DeKalb County Commissioners and the DeKalb County Council commemorate the life of Donald J. Lauer and acknowledge that in his passing, our community has lost a faithful and valued servant, and express our gratitude and respect for his unselfish public service. Be it further resolved that DeKalb County Commissioners and DeKalb County Council convey our sincere sympathy to his wife Julie, daughters and sons-in-laws Elizabeth and Evan Maurer of Fort Wayne, and Anna and Austin Hasselhorst of Noblesville, and grandsons Russell and Jonathan Hasselhorst, his sister and brother-in-law Debbie and Langdon Adams of Fort Wayne, as well as his extended family. Be it further resolved that we do hereby declare June 11th, 2025 as the day of official mourning for our departed friend and colleague, and we do direct that flags of our country and of our county be flown at half-mast during this day as a sign to all of our respect for Donald J. Lauer. Be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be filed in the permanent records of the DeKalb County Commissioners and County Council, and that a copy of this resolution be sent to the family of Donald J. Lauer. Duly enacted this 9th day of June, 2025 by the DeKalb County Commissioners. And then on Wednesday, the 11th, the council meets, and they will sign it on that day as well. And then everything will be complete. So I have five like nice copies that I would like for you guys to sign.
Need a motion to sign those.
So move. Oh,
Second.
Motion second on the floor. Additional comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Susan.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay. That's done. Glad to do it. Next item on the miscellaneous is meal reimbursement.
So,
Jim.
yeah, the department heads meeting last week, and this has been up for discussion before, would like to change the ordinance. Basically, they would like to have their meals paid when employees have seminars or training. Their recommendation is that it be at least 4 hours minimum, receive a meal reimbursement, that the payment be for each day of a conference. So if they go to a conference and they, which is, the rate is $40 for an overnight now, that's the way it is. They just want it paid for that extra day of travel, is what I understood. They would have to have department head approval, and they thought $18 maximum would be the rate for these meetings. They didn't put a stipulation of mileage on it. It just that it had to be at least 4 hours of training to receive a meal reimbursement. I think that is pretty much what they were asking. You gentlemen received what Cass County is. Basically, Cass County was $15 with the same type of arrangement. The state of Indiana, which if Rick was here, he could explain it better. That Rick Ring was here, he could explain it better. But it's a real mess trying to figure out the state of Indiana. Because if you traveled from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m., it was one rate. If you left at, I don't know, 11 a.m. and went to 3 p.m., it was different. It was just a real mess. So it was very difficult to figure out the state of Indiana. I would not recommend following that. And so that's the basic premise. All of these meals would come out of, I mean, the bottom line is department head would have to approve it prior to the conference, and it would come out of their funds. It wouldn't come out of the commissioner funds. So it's, from what I understood, it's already in their budget. So it would just be a matter of us approving or not approving what they're asking for.
You said you sent the cast policy. I don't have.
In the email you sent, the Cass County, it says Cass County Commissioners shall establish a meal allowance for each full day of county business in travel status, up to $15 for lunch, if not provided by meeting, supported by appropriate receipts submitted to the auditor. If meeting extends past normal courthouse hours of 8 to 4, exceptions can be made if prior approval is received from the commissioners.
The 4 hours, now is that, are we talking travel time, 4 hours? Is that,
That's,
or is that conference time?
I took it to mean conference time, that the conference had to be at least 4 hours of training. So travel would be in addition. I mean,
We're talking traveling to a conference, attending 4 hours and then traveling back home same day?
yes.
Training has to last at least 4 hours. The training has to last at least 4 hours, from what I'm understanding what he's saying.
Yeah, if this training was, I don't know, 9 to 1, that would be the training, but the mileage was not included in that hour. So if they had 2
4
hours,
hours.
if they had 2 hours travel one way, it would, you know,
Be on top.
that, yeah.
So did anybody reach out to these, I see the city of Auburn's in here, Cass. Did anybody reach out to these and find out if they're also taxed on it as a fringe benefit?
I did not ask that. That would be my fault.
Well, that's not your fault. I'm just asking if anybody did, because the federal IRS audit says that I have to do that. So it is not an overnight training, so it is a fringe benefit, and the employee will have to be taxed. Which is the whole reason we got away from all of that, and all of the receipts, and all of everything, and went with the per diem for overnight stay.
So how is Cass County getting around it?
I don't know, that's why I
Going
asked.
through all the hoops that she just explained.
They could either be taxing their employees for that, or they haven't had a federal audit and they don't know that that's how you have to do it. And, because we didn't know that until we had our federal audit in like 2017 or 2018, I can't remember which year. But that's why we are where we're at now, because so they don't end up getting what they are trying to get, because then it has to be taxed, and certain things have to be turned in to not only accounts payable, but now payroll, and
You have to receive the receipts, right?
I'll have to if I'm gonna tax them. We don't have to have receipts now, we have the approved travel request and like the agenda, and if it was an overnight stay, then they get their per diem, and if it wasn't, they don't. So that's all gonna be your guys' decision in the travel policy, because the travel policy will have to be amended.
I guess at this point, I would recommend that we table this till the next meeting, and I will get in touch with Auburn and get back with everybody as to what their policy, I mean, we have their policy, but how they're handling that situation. I will check with the city of Auburn to find out.
Okay, tabled. All right. Young lady in the audience, is there something we can help you with? Okay.
Andrew, did you get that email I just sent you?
On the smoking.
Yes.
Yes, I did, and I think I just emailed you back.
All right, so I have talked to you guys separately, but I want to bring it up in the meeting. We were having an issue with one of the residents at Sunny Meadows vaping while on oxygen.
I think we should not state the name, obviously.
Yeah, I wasn't going to. We have talked to this individual multiple times not to do it. We've talked to I believe his guardian, and explained to him the individual was caught multiple times after the conversation, and explained to the staff out there that he was getting the vapes from the guardian, from what I was being told. So neither one of them is following our no smoking or vaping policy we have out there. We do have a signed document, which Andrew's looking over right now, we just got this morning, that states that they know that they cannot be smoking or vaping within the building. Especially this individual is on oxygen 24/7. So I don't think he's going to stop, and I don't think the guardian's going to help us in having him stop. To me, it's a safety issue. I've tried to reach out to the fire marshal, but I hadn't got a chance to get back, have a conversation with him about it. But what do you guys want to do?
Safety of the county and the safety of the rest of the employees and residents, I don't think we have a choice that we need to enforce it. That, I don't know, do we have to give a timeline when they are evicted?
Well, I think that, yes, so typically the timeline is a 30-day notice before the end of before the beginning of the next month, like the calendar month. But there are exceptions to that where we can ask for a more immediate order if there is a danger to the property and or the other residents. So my suggestion would be then that we do a small claims eviction case with a request for it to be done in kind of an expedited emergency manner to try to keep the place safe. Then it's up to the judge to make a decision of whether or not 30 days notice applies.
We have a policy and we have it for a very good reason. My thought is we need to execute small claims court if that's where we need to go next.
Because of it being basically like an apartment, I mean, it's a county home, but I believe the landlord-tenant laws would apply. Of course, we're the, only county home left in the state running the way we are. And I'm not aware of any other ordinances or laws that would treat anything differently. And when I looked at the county home statute, I didn't see anything different about evictions, normal apartment situation. I think that what you'd have to do is monitor for additional violation after the policy was signed. And if that has happened, and maybe you could then, if you so desire, you could make a motion that assuming, or if there is another violation, that then you would authorize me as county attorney to file a small claims case to evict under expedited circumstances.
I would so move that we do what our attorney has just proclaimed instead of repeating all of it.
Okay.
I'll second that. So it's, for the conversation, so Andrew and I have been talking about this for about a week or so now. There's a lot of just gray area in there and trying to figure out what to do here. I did reach out and leave a message. He did not call me back, the Guardian. So I don't know if Bill or Jim, one of you guys want to try to call and see if you can talk to him. I would suggest Bill, just because he's the commissioner president, let him know the seriousness of the situation, that if he doesn't stop. Now, if he is buying the vapes, I mean, we're going off the residents telling us this, that if it doesn't stop, that he's going to be evicted.
Right.
You don't want to have to do
County
this.
doesn't want to do that. You guys
No,
don't wanna
but
do
we
that,
can't,
but
we
it's
can't
for
have,
safety.
for safety reasons, we can't be having this, doing it, so. I don't know if Bill, you would be willing to do that. I can get you the gentleman's number.
We do. All right. I would do that.
But yeah, I mean, we have in possession right now 3 vapes that we've got caught in the last at least week. So.
Okay, so just to clarify real quick, so I have that Jim motion to approve Attorney Cruz to move forward with a small claims case for eviction with an expedited time of due to safety reasons.
A second.
If there's another violation.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's important. Give them one more chance.
I seconded that. And then during the conversation we had, maybe
Yeah.
President Commission can reach out to him and let him know, hey, one more time, and this is what's going to happen. To help our staff out there and what to do next. Because
Okay. We have a
we've talked
motion.
to him multiple times, so.
A motion and a second. Any additional comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries.
So just let me know how it goes, Kellen, and if that happens, then we can file the case.
Also, Dale has been looking at all the policies that we have out there at Sunny Meadows, and it's a mishmash of documents we found. So Andrew and I have kind of talked, and that it would probably be better for him to do an updated version of it to kind of supersede any previous ones, because it's hard to find out which ones are the current ones, because there's a bunch of it's just smashed out there. So he is working on that currently. Hopefully I'll send over a copy of that, how it looks, and have you guys, and in the next meeting, we can approve a new set of standards out there, policies and procedures. And we have some, it's kind of, just like everything else with Sunny Meadows, it's kind of a little murky right now to
And you
figure out
don't want to have
exactly.
things murky when you're trying to enforce reasonable policies and
Right.
safety policies and all of that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So how do you enforce it? How does anybody know what they have to follow?
And they came up with the smoking thing of, well, what's our policy? And we found multiple versions of it. Some of them don't have dates on them, so we don't know which ones superseded other ones, so. Andrew and
You
I
want to
came
be
up with-
fair to the people that are residing there, so.
Yes. So You'll see that coming across, Andrew. I think that was probably the best way to handle that situation, is to do a new set and have it for the rest of the remainder of the timeline.
And we will have those current sign the new one?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. So they'll sign the new ones and have it all up to date and everything too. So each resident that is out there will be underneath the new.
Because ideally, going back probably a decade or more, there should have been a set of policies that everybody signed when they entered in saying, you know, hey, and maybe as part of that, Kellen, there should be some language that if there are violations of the policies, it could subject the person to eviction or something like that.
He's gonna get what he would like, and then we'll send it to Andrew, have him do his thing, and then we'll have something for the next meeting.
Okay. Anything else? Jim, anything?
Reach out to Auburn and find out.
Okay. Andrew, anything for us?
Well, we've got the, yes, that's my note, the Potter Drive situation.
Oh, yes.
We've come up with language that I believe the city approves, and Chris Gaumer's looked at it as well, I believe, of a dedication and acceptance, so a dedication of Potter Drive as a public road by DeKalb County to the city of Auburn, and an acceptance document. I don't know if you three have seen this yet.
I did.
Okay.
It was online.
Yeah.
Well, that was the only thing that I had left, and then it was just I had been thinking about this. I know there's some sort of requirement for some transactions for the county council to approve certain real estate transactions, but I don't know that this fits under it, because it's more like just
We're not selling or
we're
buying.
not selling it, it's just dedicating it as a public road.
Yeah.
Exchange
Yeah.
money, yeah.
Yeah. So if you are fine with this, that the document has been reviewed by Daryl McConnell and I think Zach Leitner, and so everybody approves it on the city side, and Chris Gaumer on our side, so.
So it's making it a public road, and then we're transferring it over. Is that how that, I know there was some conversation of how that was gonna work.
Yes, so there was some emails back and forth, and we looked at it, and there had been a transaction on Lenora Drive a couple of years ago from the city to the county, I guess, or a bridge or something.
Yeah, bridge.
And so basically, after I looked at all of it, it appears this is what needs to be done, and then it's dedicated and accepted and then recorded, and then that's it. And it should cover it. And then it becomes the cities to handle and clean, like for snow removal and so forth. And there's been discussions that the snow removal for the community corrections, their parking lot would be done by community corrections like it always has been. The little turnaround area would be done by the city, because when they get to the end of the road, they need to turn around anyway. So, but I do not believe that needed to be put in the document, because that's just a small area and informal understanding and sort of a practical issue anyway. So I don't think we're going to have any issues with the city and county on that.
So for anybody listening, the gist of the wording is that we're dedicating and conveying the road known as Potter Drive to the city of Auburn, state of Indiana, as a public road for all purposes associated with the maintenance and control. This dedication is subject to the declaration of easements, covenants, and restrictions that was recorded June 19th of 2018 between G&B Aggregate LLC and DeKalb County and their successors.
Which I think was an agreement allowing certain driveways to be placed on the property, to connect into the road or something like that. So we wanted everybody to understand the county had that agreement when the road was created.
Quick question, is the city then going to charge the county for cleaning Potter Drive?
No, I think they would just accept it as a city street, and just like if they accept a city street from a developer on a subdivision, they don't charge the subdivision to clean it because it's a city street.
Thank you for that.
Good question, though.
Thank you for that clarification. I so move that we accept the dedication of Potter Drive as a public road to the city of Auburn as presented.
A motion and a second on the floor. Any additional comments? Comments from the public? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay, what else we got?
Yeah, we're not yet.
I do not have anything on my end.
All done? Andrew, you're done?
Yes, I believe so.
Ellen?
Have nothing?
I'm done? I'm done.
Hot dog.
I will hereby